Hello, and welcome to our video series about how to use generative AI to draft your legal documents. We've been focusing on discovery for the last couple of videos, and we're here today to talk about how to draft requests for production of documents in a software that I've used to transform my practice called Legion.Law. I am a business, employment, and real estate litigator out of San Francisco, California. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Ad Astra Law Group. And I'm joined today by the co-founder of Legion.Law, which has helped transform my practice. Welcome, Arthur Rothrock. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, Katie.
All right, you ready to show them how to use these tools?
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's go to Legion, which looks like this on the home screen. Log in. Sorry, I didn't know I was back there. And then you go to in this case, we've already uploaded a case. You might want to start a new matter if you're going to do something new and you put in where you are in your jurisdiction. Here we've already told it we're in California, and this case is in Santa Clara. So let's go to this one. And what we want to do is create something new. And in this case, we're going to propound, request for production and hit generate document. All right, earlier in these videos, we had created a complaint. Let's pretend we're the defendant. And we have this complaint here that we would like to ask questions about. Anything else?
No, I think that's all we need. And for this video, we're going to show you how to do, I want to provide my own discovery instructions. We're going to say, normally we have Legion go and it does a bunch of analysis and creates a discovery plan and executes on that plan. And, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but it's really good for your first set of discovery. But just for purposes of this, we'll say that we've already done some discovery and there's only one issue that we really want to sort of drill down on. And, maybe that's going to be, we care about damages or something. I don't know if there's a specific issue in mind, Kane, that you'd like to do some requests for production on.
What if I tell it focus on damages from delay in execution and let's say overcharging,
Perfect.
if I can type. Okay. And then we continue to preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we tell it, okay, so this is set one of RFPs, and we're starting at one. Great. And we are going to be, let's say we're the party that's defending. So the propounding party, we are Quantum, and the responding party is Meridian, and we're going to ask them to produce documents based on the complaint they filed against our client.
Perfect.
Anything else I need to hit before I hit confirm and generate?
No, ma'am, let's do it.
Okay, and you get to choose a definition style. Right,
Yeah,
here's good.
for requests for production, the statute doesn't say full and complete in and of itself, so you can do separate definitions for requests for production, and no one will be mad about it.
Okay. But if the lawyer you're working with prefers nested, we can also produce that. I prefer them separate, especially since it's not required here.
It's so much easier to read.
It's very much easier to read, yes. Okay, so it's come up with basic definitions and then some case-specific definitions. Where did it get those case-specific definitions?
So it pulls them from the complaint and it figures out, what are some pretty good defined terms. And if you ever aren't happy with them, you can do direct inline edits, or you can use the comment bar at the bottom and say, add a definition for whatever it might be, and it'll go ahead and spit that out for you, and you can tweak it if you don't like what it's done for you.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so what if we say add a definition of what do we let's say there's a project coordinator issue in the case.
Perfect. So I just hit enter or click there you go.
Yeah.
While that's sort of generating, one of the other slight differences is, requests for production often have general instructions with them, or, instructions for privilege log, and we provide a bunch of default language for you that you can edit at the bottom.
Oh, great.
Why don't we
And
go ahead?
there's, all
Oh,
right,
nice.
I'll
There's
just
your
highlight,
definition.
there's our project coordinator definition. And
Perfect.
then there's your general instructions.
General instructions for, what you want the document production to look like. And then if there's a privilege log, you can tell them exactly what you want. And you can edit these things however you'd like if you have your own sort of default templates that you use. And it's pretty easy to reset if you want to change your mind or go back. And those will be saved for all future generation tasks.
Nice. Okay. So let's say that all looks good to me. I hit generate discovery.
That's right. Now, because we only gave it some narrow instructions, it's probably going to be a lot quicker this time around. Normally on the back end, it's creating the whole discovery plan, but here, because there's only some discrete issues that we're really interested in, it's going to go ahead and skip all that and just get straight to drafting you exactly what you want.
Right. I'm really excited to see what it comes up with. And will this also do it if it comes up with more than RFPs don't have a limit. That's right. But it'll
Nope.
do council declarations for the other types of discovery.
That's right. They're your special
Yeah.
interrogatories and your request for admission. I don't know why it doesn't do it for a request for production. It seems like that's the most burdensome one. I don't care if someone gives me 50 RFA, but if they give me 50 requests for production, I'm going to have a bad day. So, but
Yeah.
that's what we got.
Yeah, it can be a bad one. Okay. All right. So what do we have here? Some questions that it came up with. All documents relating to the calculation basis or substantiation of your claim. Great. And I can edit that if I want, right?
That's right. The pencil to make direct inline edits, the trash can if you don't like any of the things that Legion has done for you to remove them. And then the plus sign lets you draft your own if you just want to do it the old-fashioned way and add something in. But my preference is always if there's something that's missing or a topic that isn't been addressed, I like to use Legion's AI on the right, and I can just tell it to add, give me more requests for production on a certain topic, and it'll go ahead and spit those out for me, and I can choose whatever ones that I like to add over to my final list on the left.
Okay. What can we come up with here? Give it more requests for production on, um, let's say
Medium.
remediation efforts.
Perfect.
And it will think for a little bit and it's going to come up with a few more in this right-hand pane. Will I need to select them in the right-hand pane to move them over to the left?
Yeah, you'll just, it's going to give you a bunch. And so the top right will be a button that says, select all new or add all new. And then you can do that if you like everything that it's done. But if you don't, then you can click the individual ones that you actually like. And then the top right is a button that says add, and you can just add those over. You can continue your conversation with Legion if you want on the same topic. Maybe it didn't draft exactly what you're looking for, or, maybe you sort of want more different permutation. You can keep talking with Legion just like you would any sort of chat interface, and it will continue to give you more of these. And then once you're ready to move on to a different topic, you can just click clear, and that'll wipe the whole thing so you can start fresh and ask for new stuff that you want.
Okay, well, I like these 8 that it came up with, detailing further questions about remediation efforts. And let's hit add all 8. Great. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this list. I've reviewed all of these and made any edits that I wanted to using this little pencil. And I click finalize.
That's right.
Okay. And while it's thinking, I will mention that what I really like about this software, in addition to saving my clients a ton of time and money and making it actually fun to engage in discovery, I love that the quality of the work product that comes out is something that makes my paralegal quite nervous about what is her role in creating a shell anymore. But what we've been doing is to save our clients even more money so that we're not we're operating the AI to save our clients money, but we're also sometimes having the paralegal operate the AI, for instance, for contention interrogatories or something. It saves a ton of money.
There's
Okay.
There's one little feature here that I think doesn't come up super often, and it's whenever we do generate this, we check to see if all the definitions have been used in the actual discovery, and if they haven't, then we go ahead and remove them.
Interesting feature. Good. And so here, oh, I guess I didn't do this in this one. A previous one, I told it to give us a definition for project coordinator. And let's say there was no RFPs that came up with project coordinator, and it would have culled out that definition.
I think you did do that for this one, but the reason why it's not there is because there wasn't really anything for a project coordinator to be, that would be involved in the request for production of documents for damages or the remediation stuff. So
Exactly.
so it removed it. So it didn't appear. It's something that no one would notice unless I told them about it. Because we did see that we had a lot of definitions, but if you don't use all of them, why are you defining terms that aren't in there? So when Katie, when you're referring to that you like the level of quality in the product, we do a lot of work to make sure that you're getting, big law firm sort of quality work product very, very easily.
I love it. Okay, well, there's our instructions about the privilege log, and here's our RFPs. Let's say I wanted to add one. Um, would I go down here and do that, or would I go back to
I
where
usually
we?
recommend going back to the request for production on the left, like back to the screen that you were at before. This is
Mhm.
really just like a final polish if you want to tweak some things um, to get it across the finish line, or maybe you caught something that you missed before. It's usually easiest to just go back to the previous workflow and talk with Legion and add more and play with your final.
Great. And then, as with each of these that we've seen, you can click in and edit, correct?
That's right.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm happy with the 24 requests for production that it came up with, and I want to tell it now to go ahead and download.
Cool. And it's going to go ahead and pop all of it into a nicely fully formatted Word doc. And like we talked about before, since there is no requirement for a council declaration, that normal workflow that fires automatically for you if you're over 35 for the special interrogatories or request for admission, you're not going to see that here.
Right, and there we go. And the pricing is an amazing $10 a page. You saw how long it took us to produce these requests for production, and I just passed that $80 on to the client, and they could not be happier. So let's go ahead and buy this. And it automatically downloads right there. There you have it, folks. On my pleading with my caption, with the definitions and the instructions, general and privilege. And then there we go. And are these fully editable too?
Yeah, so if you click enable editing, you can, that's a great thing to show. So I would scroll all the way to the very bottom. And then why don't you just copy and paste that one at the bottom. And then you can highlight those like, 3 or so. And then right click and hit update field. And then now your numbering has been updated automatically for you. So it's pretty easy to, if you want to make manual edits in here, we don't make you manually number your things. If you're just copying and pasting RFPs and then editing them, it's really easy to fix your numbering on that. Especially if you're trying to do edits in the middle of it and you have 100 requests for production and you add like 56, you don't have to go and renumber every single one after that. You can just highlight everything and update the field. So we make it easy to edit and on the platform or off.
Cool. That's really helpful. How many of us have spent a lot of time going over and changing the numbers? We definitely don't want to build a client for that. So, well, thank you, Arthur. This was really helpful. Again, the software has transformed my practice. It's helping all of my clients who are all very cost conscious, as I'm sure yours are too. And I want to thank you, Arthur, for building such a wonderful product.
Hey, pleasure doing it. I love this way more than litigating. Everyone's happy to use the product and loves it. We have some great customer calls like you, and get to have great meetings like with you, versus contentious litigation. So thanks for giving us the opportunity to do this stuff for you, Katie.
Thanks for making it suck less, Arthur.
No
I'll talk to you
problem.
later.
Bye.
Bye.